Hello guys, this is Prime Concept. In this video, I want to consider a very important optical instrument, which is what we know as the compound microscope. In our previous video, we analyzed the simple microscope. So we want to look at a compound microscope. The reason is because a simple microscope is actually limited. It has limitations in its magnification. So, but with a compound microscope, we can view something that is very small and give it a high level of magnification. So that is why there is need to talk of the compound microscope, right? Now, what is the compound microscope? A compound microscope is an optical instrument that is used to view near objects and magnify them so that they can be seen with great details. So compound microscope views near objects that are not very far, objects that are close, and they give them a high level of magnification so that details about that object can be noted or seen. That is a compound microscope. A compound microscope is made of two convex lenses. Now, one lens is usually close to the object, and this lens that is close to the object is known as objective lens. So a compound microscope is made of two lenses, two convex lenses. So while you're watching, please do well to take notes because I'll just be giving the explanation and be highlighting the points on the board so that I don't waste time. Now, your compound microscope has two convex lenses. One of the lenses is actually closer to your object. Say I want to view this marker. The lens that is close to this marker is what we know as the objective lens. And then the second, both of them are convex. The second lens, which is closer to the eyes now, is what we know as the eyepiece lens. So you should take note of the fact that your compound microscope has two convex lenses or two converging lenses, which is the objective lens close to the object and the eyepiece lens close to the what? The eyes. Now, how do they work? First, you should know that the eyepiece lens is usually of a larger focal length than the objective. So the focal length of the eyepiece lens is usually greater than the focal length of the eyepiece. Now, what is the working principle of your compound microscope? Your compound microscope is arranged in a way such that the eyepiece lens behaves as a simple microscope. Now I'm going to use a diagram to explain the working principle of a compound microscope. So this is our principal axis, and then this is our objective lens, the one that is close to the object, and then we have our eyepiece lens. So I'm going to draw it big just to show you that the focal length of this is greater than this. Of course, if you want a larger focal length, the aperture of your lens should also be big. You can't have a small aperture and expect your focal length to be very big. So that is why I'll still use this size to also illustrate to you that the focal length of the eyepiece is bigger than that of the objective, but does not necessarily mean that their apertures would always be this different, right? Now this is our eyepiece lens. This is our objective. Now we have the focal point of our objective lens, which I'll call FO, and then the focal point on this point of the objective is FO, while the focal length of our eyepiece, I will label it at this point as FE, focal point, of the eyepiece, and then you have FE here, focal point of the eyepiece. Now, if you have an object, you want to view this object, right? And this object is placed at this particular point. what happens is that rays from the object hits your lens. When rays hits your lens, where will they pass from? To refract through this point, right? Yes. So that if I follow the next rule, so it is passing through this point, it will go like this. Now, these two lenses are arranged in a way such that the image formed by this object would be formed somewhere inside the focal point of the eyepiece, so that the eyepiece will now begin to act as a simple microscope. Now you can see where this image, the image of this object is formed, right? So I'm going to call this AB, and then this is where the image is formed, which is actually inside the focal point. So in between the focal point of eyepiece and the eyepiece lens. So I'm going to call this A prime, B prime. Now you notice that, of course, from the rules we studied for our convex lens, when an object is placed between your focal point and your lens, that's the image of that object will be formed on the same side as the object, and the image will be highly magnified, right? Virtual and inverted. So this is what we have. This image, A prime, B prime, this is the image of this object, original object. But in order for you to see this very big, this image here would now begin to act as an object. Remember, this is where your eyes would be. This is where your eyes would be, somewhere around here, trying to view this thing, right? Now, this image would now become an object to this particular lens, so that the rays from this, if you have this goes parallel like this. When it hits this, it will go through your focal point, right? Yes. Now, so that when I have one passing through the optical center like this, it will go like this, right? So that the eyes here can see it. But where is the image that this eyes is seeing? You notice that these two rays would not intersect anywhere around here. But if you take them backwards like this, if you take this, you now notice that it will intersect somewhere around here, so that the image, the final image of this object would now be formed somewhere around here. So you can see how big this thing is now, right? Very big, right? So I believe this concept is clear. So one of the things you would have noticed here is that the eyepiece acts like a simple microscope. If you should watch this video and try to turn your screen, you would see that this part is actually a simple what? Microscope, which we have explained in the previous video. Now let's look at, because we have already mentioned that our compound microscope, one of the functions is to magnify an object so large so that you can look at that object and get great details about the object. So what is the extent to which the compound microscope can magnify an object? So we want to consider the magnification. So the magnification of a compound microscope is known as linear magnification, which is still the same thing we have been studying, the ratio of height of image to the height of object. Now, clearly, let's look at it from here. The magnification of a compound microscope is going to be the ratio. So let's label this. Let me label this, because this is my final image. So let me call it A prime prime and call this B prime prime. So my magnification is going to be the ratio of my image height, which is A prime prime, B prime prime, over the object, which is what now? A, B. So this is our magnification, the ratio of A prime prime, which is our final image, to our object height, which is AB. Now, if you look at this, you can see that this can still be written as A prime prime, B prime prime, divided by say A prime, B prime, multiplied by A prime, B prime, divided by AB. Right? Is this true? Yes, it is true. This particular relationship is same as this. Why is this same? So that if this cancels this, you still get a prime prime b prime prime divided by ab. So it means that relationship is true. Now, if that is the case, let's consider this relationship separately like this. Now, what is a prime prime b prime prime? It is the image of this particular lens, right? And then what is a prime b prime? It is the object of this particular lens, which is the eyepiece. So take note, a prime prime b prime prime is the image of the eyepiece lens. A prime b prime is the object of the eyepiece lens. So we can simply say that this is the magnification of the eyepiece lens. Now if you look at this one, a prime b prime is the image of the objective lens, which is this, is the image of the objective lens. AB is the object of the objective lens. So we can simply say that the magnification of a compound microscope is the product of magnification of eyepiece lens and magnification of what? Objective. So this is the formula for magnification of a compound microscope, the linear magnification, which is the product of magnification of eyepiece lens to the magnification of what? Objective lens. But this is not all, right? Because they can give us questions where they won't give us these magnifications directly. So what other relation can we get from here? Very simple. So I'm going to rub this diagram. So we can see that our total magnification is ME times MO, right? Yes. Now, what is ME? Magnification of our eyepiece. We derived this in our previous video, which I will just be writing. The magnification of our eyepiece is actually 1 plus D over FE as the focal length of eyepiece. Then what is magnification of our objective lens? It is simply V, the image distance of our objective lens, over UO, which is the object distance of our objective lens. So that if I put these two relationships into this, I will then have that my total magnification is going to be what now? It's going to be VO over UO into 1 plus D over FE. So this is the magnification. I'm going to insert a negative sign. So why is the negative sign there? Very correct. You're very correct. The negative sign is there to tell us that the final image of our compound microscope is what? Virtual. So that is why we're inserting the negative sign. The final image, like we saw in the diagram, is virtual, right? Yes. So there are certain points we should also note about the compound microscope, right? Yes, the compound microscope, a point we should note is that our object distance, U0, our object is usually placed so that it is very close to the focal point of the objective lens, so that most of the times we can say that the object distance is approximately equal to the focal length of the objective lens, right? And then the image of the objective lens is actually formed very close to the eyepiece, so that we can actually say that the image distance VO is approximately equal to the length of the compound microscope, the length of that tube, which we call L. So if we make these approximations, we can still write that the magnification for a compound microscope is going to be minus L over what now? FO into 1 plus D over FE. So it's either we use this formula depending on the parameters we have, or we use this formula based on approximation, where L is the length of the compound microscope, which is the length of the tube. So any of this can serve to get the magnification. Now, what is D? D is least distance of distinct what? Vision. So I believe this is clear. If you have enjoyed this video up till this point, please do well to hit the subscribe button comment on this video, like, and share with 10 of your friends. Tell them this is prime concept. Thank you.